So obviously one of the things that's really important to me when building all of these different types of sensors and inputs is cost effectiveness. Exhaust gas temperature can give a lot of information of how an engine is running, especially under extremely stressful situations. So I did some previous videos on how to make an extremely simple EGT sensor out of an Arduino and just some basic focus. Apparently we're not going to learn to focus today. And just some simple components. One of the important things is to be able to data log something like that, not just to be able to look at it on the dashboard. You know, if you were able to convert that signal into a proper signal that an ECU, really any aftermarket ECU would be able to understand, that would be really important, because then you'd be able to data log in whatever hardware and software is available for that ECU, whether it be a Arduino, a Mega Squirt, the detonation EMS that I'm making, a Haltech, anything. Most of those, excuse me, take an analog input, a 0 to 5 volt input, and convert that into an actual value. So really what was important to me was to be able to make this same setup, convert that value into something that all types of ECUs can understand. So while I still have the the display, which is easily available, really what's going to be more important is the actual 0 to 5 volt output. And that took a bit of coding and a little bit of trickery to convert a PWM signal into a analog output. That's a fairly common circuit right there, just a resistor and a capacitor, to actually convert it. But the Arduino really can't output an analog signal itself. I can output a PWM signal, which we can use this very, very simple circuit right there to convert into an analog signal that really any ECU can understand. So what I've done is I've taken, this is just a little bit of math done from the K-type sensor itself, from the MAX 6675 sensor, which is that sensor right there. Sensor reader board, the actual board itself. And this is just a cheap Chinese K-type sensor. So this one you would not put in your exhaust. This one's not good enough. But the ones that you can put into your exhaust, like I have in my 240, are extremely expensive, like $12. So you could complete this whole project and have an EGT sensor outputting to your either expensive ECU or homemade ECU or whatever you've got for an incredibly small amount of money. Now, I'm going to refine this code a little more, but it's on the GitHub, and I'll have some some links and everything, and I'll put up all the schematics once I actually finish it. But essentially, I just put my multimeter right here. You can see the temperature is very low at the moment, but I'm going to, first off, see if I can get them both in the view at the same time. So this would be the output to the actual, to the ECU. So I'm going to hold a lighter up to the probe, and you'll be able to see them both going up at the same time. Now that's really important, because you don't necessarily need, no longer need the screen. You'd be able to just put an auxiliary input on your ECU and read all this information right from your software. That's you would normally use. So really a lot of the external stuff is no longer required. You need the sensor, the Arduino, and that two-part circuit right there, and my code, and that's about it. So again, I'll be giving all this stuff away once I finalize it.